Ladies and gentlemen, the Congressman and the next Congressman from the 1st Congressional District, David Cicilline. And thank you everyone who's here tonight, and thank you to all Rhode Islanders who helped make this victory possible. I appreciate the support of everyone who voted on behalf of the middle class tonight. And I look forward to speaking with Rhode Island Democrats, Independents, and Republicans in the days and weeks ahead about just what is at stake in this election. In 8 weeks, we will have a very big choice to make, both in the presidential election between President Obama and Mitt Romney, and in this race for Congress. In both, our choice is to keep moving forward or to return to the same old failed Republican policies that created this problem in the first place. Now, I know Brendan Daugherty. I've known him for many years. I worked with him when he worked for Governor Cicilline as head of the state police. I think he's a good man. But he's made it clear that he stands with Mitt Romney, Paul Ryan, and the Washington Republicans who are pushing a radical agenda that will move our country backwards. For the last 20 months, I've seen these Republicans up close. And I can tell you, they're not kidding. I've worked to help Rhode Islanders benefit from President Obama's health care reform bill so that provisions work effectively for Rhode Islanders. It means seniors will save on prescription drugs. Children with pre-existing conditions will no longer be discriminated against and denied coverage. And young people can stay on their parents' plans until they're 26 years old. Brendan Daugherty and the Republicans in Congress will repeal health care reform if we give them the chance. To protect Social Security, to keep the retirement age where it is, and I've asked our leaders in Congress to cut federal spending without touching Social Security benefits. Brendan Daugherty and the Republicans have a different point of view. He supports raising the retirement age for Social Security, a policy that would hurt working Rhode Islanders. I've worked with my colleagues to support a budget proposal that extends middle-class tax cuts, stops giving away billions of dollars of taxpayer money to big oil, invests in our infrastructure and workforce, and protects and strengthens Medicare for our seniors. But in selecting Paul Ryan, Governor Romney has chosen a vice presidential candidate who wrote the Republican budget that would provide even greater tax cuts for the wealthiest Americans, keep subsidies for big oil companies while slashing transportation, Pell Grant funding, and ending the guarantee of Medicare. Brendan Daugherty supports Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney. He says he thinks Ryan has some great ideas. I don't know what ideas he's talking about, but what I know for certain is that Paul Ryan's values are not Rhode Island values. I'm proud to serve alongside the other members of our delegation. Senator Reid, Senator Whitehouse, and Congressman Langston. These are great and effective leaders for our state and for our country. And Senator Whitehouse is absolutely right that millionaires should not pay a lower tax rate than teachers and nurses, and his Buffett rule to pass just makes common sense. Brendan Daugherty and the Republicans oppose the Buffett rule. Mr. Daugherty has called it a gimmick. And I join with President Obama in firmly believing that the Supreme Court's decision in Citizens United that allows for unlimited, secret corporate money to pour into our elections is an absolute disaster for our democracy. Brendan Daugherty and the Republicans think that Citizens United should be allowed to stand. It should be the law of the land. In fact, Mr. Daugherty even accepted the maximum allowable contribution of $10,000 from Citizens United. There are some big choices in this upcoming election. I love our state, and I see firsthand every single day the impact that decisions are made in Washington have on Rhode Island families. It really matters to seniors all over this district that Social Security and Medicare are protected and strengthened, not undermined, while we give yet another big tax break to the wealthiest Americans. Rhode Island women deserve to have their right to full reproductive health care protected. Policies that help to ensure equal pay for equal work. And all Rhode Island families deserve to be respected regardless of who they love. We need to stand up. We need to stand up for working men and women and to end tax policies that encourage companies to ship American jobs overseas and instead create incentives to keep jobs here in America. It's always been about the hardworking men and women of Rhode Island's 1st Congressional District, how we make sure that their voices, your voices, are heard in Washington. Our state is facing some tremendous challenges. We have nearly 60,000 people out of work, more than 53,000 homeowners with mortgages underwater, and our infrastructure is crumbling. I'm fighting for the Make It in America agenda that includes my Make It in America block grant, a proposal that has recently been described by a national nonpartisan expert as having great promise, and that would help revitalize our decades-old manufacturing economy. It's time to start making things in America again. Yes. I've been a staunch advocate for getting out of Afghanistan as quickly and as responsibly as we can. And investing that money in building our own country. We're building roads and bridges and training police officers halfway around the world, and we're cutting the very same things in our own country. There are pothole-filled roads, bridges, and dilapidated schools right here in Providence and in Rhode Island. And I believe that we're never going to get our country back. We're never going to get our country back on the right track until we change the way we finance our elections and get the unlimited secret corporate money out of campaigns. Corporations are not people. People are people. This election will have big consequences. This election will have really, really significant consequences. Our country is at war. We owe our troops and their families a tremendous debt of gratitude. We have a soaring national debt, record levels of unemployment, and important commitments to our seniors and veterans. We need to get our economy back on track and get people back to work. I'm looking forward to talking with Brendan Doherty about the differences between each of us, about how we would solve these problems and what direction we'll take this country. Because frankly, that's what voters in this state deserve. A serious discussion about where each of us stands on the issues and what direction we want to take our country. Thank you again to all of you here tonight, all Rhode Islanders who support me in this effort. It has been a tremendous